Hello students, in the last class of function chapter, we have studied the algebra of functions. How using algebra we can form different functions from the elementary algebraic functions. Those functions are called algebraic functions. The functions which are not algebraic are called transcendental functions. What? Transcendental functions. The functions which are not algebraic. Functions which are not algebraic are called transcendental functions. Our trigonometric functions. We'll read trigonometric functions. Trigonometric functions. Yes, trigonometric functions. These are transcendental functions. Anyway, trigonometry functions. Perhaps you have read it in your school career. Sine function, cosine function, tangent function, sec, cosecant, secant, cosecant, cotangent. These are all trigonometric functions. So how they are defined? Before that, let us discuss about the coordinate system. Coordinate system. We have two types of coordinate system. Number one is coordinate system divided into two categories. Coordinate system. Number one, your Cartesian, rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. Rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. Rectangular Cartesian, what is this? Number two, we'll read it. Number two is polar coordinate system. Polar coordinate system. Cartesian coordinate system, polar coordinate system. Right? What is Cartesian? First we will discuss about Cartesian coordinate system. Rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. Yes. Here we have to take two number lines which are called the lines of reference perpendicular to each other. Right? And the point of intersection of these two number lines is O. Yes. For this number line, this is called x-axis, this is called y-axis, and this is the 0, 1 at equal interval of time 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, you know it. Minus 6, then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. This is our system. Okay. Why we are reading Cartesian coordinate, this coordinate system? In order to locate the position of a point in the space. In order to locate in the plane, we have to locate the position of a point in the plane. Suppose here is a point. Suppose, what will be its coordinates? Its coordinates are represented by an ordered pair, xy. You know ordered pair? Its coordinates or its position is represented by an ordered pair. xy, right? xy. What is x? X is the distance of the point from y-axis, which is taken as positive if the point is to the right of y-axis, or yes, and negative if it is to the left of y-axis. This is the way. Anyway, then let us drop another perpendicular from this on this. Suppose it meets at 5, here it is 4. So what is the distance of the point from y-axis? This distance, yes, it is a rectangle. We are drawing perpendiculars. This is also 90 degree. We have to draw two perpendicular lines. This is 90 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree, this is also 90 degree. So it will form a rectangle. That is why it is called a rectangular coordinate system. Now, this is the distance of the point from y-axis, which is equal to this. Suppose it is m, it is m, it is n. Yes, OM is equal to NP, right? What is this? In this case, it is suppose 4, and in this case, what is y coordinate is 5. So coordinates of this point will be 4, 5. Similarly, if you know the coordinates, you can reach at that point. Suppose minus 4, 3. You will go to minus 4, then 3. Yes, this is the point where it is minus 4, 3. Right, like this, we can locate the position of a point in the coordinate plane. Okay, this is our rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. Then we will discuss about what the polar coordinate system. Polar coordinate system. Right. In polar coordinate system, you see, we take two, yes, this is our Cartesian coordinate system. Suppose this is our Cartesian coordinate system. In this you see OX is a ray. This is taken as the positive side of this line because it is 0. All positive numbers are here, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Here we have to take the negative real numbers, right? So anyway, OX is the positive side of this number line, right? Positive side of the x-axis, positive ray, and this is taken as the initial ray. What is this? It is the initial ray. It is called the initial ray. Suppose our point is here. Our point is here, whose Cartesian coordinates are xy, right? Its Cartesian coordinates are xy. What is x? What is y? We know. Suppose if you drop a perpendicular here, and suppose this is x, this is y, right? Now we can, that means we will move a distance of x unit along x-axis. That means to the right if x is positive, to the left if x is negative, and upward if how many distance? Y distance if y is positive, or downward if y is negative. In this way you can reach there. You know it well. But we can reach that point in another manner. Suppose this is, yes, this point is called origin in Cartesian coordinate system. It is called pole. O is the pole. OX, the ray, is called initial ray. Initial ray, right? Yes. Now, if this is the inclination of this line OP, this is the point OP. Inclination of OP is suppose theta. Then, and this distance OP is equal to R. OP is equal to R, and inclination of OP ray with OX B theta, which is measured in radian. Okay, so the coordinates of this point will be represented by R theta. With the help of this coordinate R theta, you can reach at that point. Okay, like your Cartesian coordinate form, you move x distance, then y distance, you will get that point. Similarly, by making an inclination theta with the initial ray OX and moving a distance of r unit, you can reach at that point. Now you see it is a right angle triangle. There is a very good relationship between x, y and r. R square is equal to, by Pythagoras theorem, it is x square plus y square. Okay. So let us discuss about theta. What values theta will take? Theta is in radian. So what values theta will take? Yes. Let us discuss. Yes, if your point P, number 1, if the point P is the pole O itself, then theta can take any real value, and R is 0. R is 0. If number 2, if P is different from the pole O, what will happen? Then R is equal to the distance of P, and theta takes the value as follows. Theta will take which value? Yes, case 1, if P is on OX. Suppose here or here, like this. P is somewhere here. Then OX will be what? P is on OX. Then theta is 0. Then the value of theta will be taken as 0, right? Then if number 2, if P is above but is in the upper half plane of OX, then or x dash x, then theta is equal to the inclination of OP with OX, right? The inclination of that ray with this. Number 3, if theta is in the lower half plane, is in the lower half plane of x dash x, then theta is equal to 2 pi minus measure of XO angle. Suppose here theta is here, then XOP will be what? This one. So what will be theta? 2 pi minus this. That means this. Yes, it is written like this. Why? Because the inclination is always greater than equal to 0 but less than pi. Right? So it is written like this. Yes, one thing I have. If number 5, suppose if P is on OX dash, then theta is equal to pi. Theta is equal to pi. Here, suppose P is on the x-axis but in the negative side, OX dash, then yes, OX dash, then theta will be pi. Theta will be taken as pi. If it is below the x-axis, then theta will be taken as 2 pi minus measure of the XOP angle, XOP. Okay. So this is how we can determine theta, right? And R represents the distance of the point from the pole. So this is your polar coordinate system, right? With the polar coordinate system and the Cartesian coordinate system, we will define the trigonometric functions. Okay. Yes. Let us find out the trigonometric functions. Suppose our first function is sine function. Yes. Yes. This is our Cartesian coordinate system. This is the origin, which is also the declared as pole. Yes. Suppose we will take a circle. Suppose P is here. P is a point. With OP as the radius, let us take a circle on this. Right? P as the radius. Let us take a circle. Right? Yes. It is perhaps not the exact. Suppose this is a circle. This is your point P, whose polar coordinates are r theta. That means this inclination is theta and this is r. You know the polar coordinates. Yes. What will be its Cartesian coordinates? Suppose you drop a perpendicular here, it meet it at M. Right. This is the x coordinate. This will be the y coordinate. Okay. Suppose its Cartesian coordinates are r theta x, r theta y. We have not taken xy. We have taken r theta x, r theta y. Why? R theta x is the x coordinate of the point whose polar coordinate is r theta. It is nothing, just it is a symbol r theta x. It is the x coordinate of the point in Cartesian coordinate system whose polar coordinates are r theta. Right? And r theta y is the y coordinate of the point whose polar coordinates are r theta. So, yes. Here define, yes, what will be r theta x? OM will be r theta x and MP will be r theta y. Yes, from polar coordinate it is r theta. In Cartesian coordinate it is suppose r theta x, r theta y. Then sine function of theta. Then sine theta. Sine theta, it is simply written sine, sin, but it is sin is sine function. Sine theta is equal to, yes, what is r? Here r is equal to square root of r theta x square plus r theta y square. You see, this is we have dropped a perpendicular here, so it is a right angle triangle where this angle is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. So this is our x, r theta x. This is r theta y. Now, in Pythagoras theorem, we know that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the square sum of the squares of the base as well as the height. So it is r theta x square plus r theta y square. The square root of that will give you r. Okay. Now sine theta. Sine theta is defined like this. R theta, the polar coordinate. Yes, y coordinate of the point whose polar coordinates are r theta divided by r. And what about sine theta? Sine theta is this. And cos theta. Cos theta is r theta x by r. Right? R theta x by r. Let us discuss about these functions only. Next we will discuss the other functions. Yes, sine theta is this, cos theta is this. So this is defined like this. Let us find out their domain, their range. Yes, yes. I have forgotten to discuss about the extended polar coordinate system, right? What is let us stop here. Extended polar coordinate system. Extended polar coordinate system, you see in this here it is r theta. Suppose you will move a distance again, you will move along this circle. You will reach the same point again after moving along the circle an angle of 2 pi, right? Making an of 2 pi, not angle. If it is theta, you see, if r theta is the coordinates of this point, then r theta plus 2 pi will be the coordinates of the same point, and r theta plus 4 pi will be the coordinates of the same point, because after that you will get the same point here. After you are moving along the circle, if you will perform one complete rotation, then you will be again at the same point. If r is fixed. If r is fixed, yes, on a circle the radius is fixed. The radius is constant. Theta is varying. Here it is theta, and you are completing one circle, means you have to add 2 pi. Then again complete another circular motion, it will be theta plus 4 pi, like this. So theta can be written as, you see, r theta can be written as r theta plus 2n pi, right? N is any integer. Yes, if you move in this side, you have to add plus 2 pi. If you move in this side, you have to add minus 2 pi. Add minus 2 pi. So n is an integer. Yes. So the coordinate of r theta can be written as r theta plus 2n pi. That means, yes, similarly, if you suppose p is here and it is minus r, suppose minus r. So its coordinate will be what? Yes, the coordinates of that point will be its coordinate will minus r theta. suppose, then theta plus pi will make here, the point will be here. So after moving a semicircle, covering a semicircle on the circle, right? So this also can be written as minus r theta plus 2n plus 1 pi, right? N is an integer. Anyway, if you want to change r from minus r, then theta plus 2n plus 1 pi or multiple of pi you have to add. If you have to make r fixed, then theta plus 2n pi. You see, the point is same. The point is same, but the coordinates are varying. In our Cartesian coordinate system, the point, for one point there is only one pair of order pair, one pair of real numbers, that is one order pair. For one order pair there is only one real number, one point on the plane, and for one point there is only one order pair of real numbers. There is a one-to-one relationship between the set of points on the plane and the set of order pairs, and that is why it is called r square. The plane is called r square because it is the Cartesian product of r with itself. We will read it in brief here in coordinate geometry. Okay, that is why it is called the Cartesian coordinate system, and it is the Cartesian product of two real lines to the set of real numbers. Yes. Anyway, here the Cartesian coordinates are fixed, are same for a particular point, but the polar coordinates are in varying nature. R theta plus 2 pi means it may be r theta, it may be r theta plus 2 pi, r theta plus 4 pi, r theta plus 6 pi, 8 pi, like this. Anyway, okay, so here, yes, sin theta is this, cos theta is this. Let us discuss at first the domain of sine function. The domain of sine function and its range. Yes, what is the domain of the sine function? You see, if you will vary theta either in this direction or in this direction, that means if you vary theta along the set of real numbers, whatever it may be, your point will move on this circle only in this way or in this way. It will move here. So, you see, minimum value of r theta y will be less than equal to r always, and it is greater than equal to minus r. Here you see, if the point is here, r theta y is 0. After that it is increasing. Here it is r. Because 0 r is the coordinates of this point. This is r0. So y coordinate is 0 here. So r theta y 0 is 0 here. It is r. Then again it will decrease. Here also r theta y will be 0. After that again it will decrease. And here it is minus r. After that it will increase, and here it will be 0. This process will continue. Similarly, if you move in this direction, the same process. So your y coordinate of the point is between minus r and r. So what will happen? This implies minus r by r. If you divide it by r, r by r. That means it is minus 1, and this is our sine theta. This is equal to 1, right? So sine theta lies between minus 1 to 1 for all theta belongs to r, right? For no value of theta, sine is not defined. It is defined everywhere. Sine function, yes, because r is a non-zero quantity. R is a non-zero quantity. If P is different from the pole, then r is a non-zero quantity, r is not equal to 0. We have taken a circle of radius r. So r is not 0. So denominator is not 0 means it is defined everywhere. So yes, domain of sine function. Domain of sine function is r. The whole set of real numbers, because theta varies in r. For every value of theta, you are getting the value of sine theta. Okay. And what is the value of sine theta? Its value lies between -1 to 1. So range of the sine function will be from -1 to 1. Similarly, you can check the cosine domain of cosine function. This is r, and range of cosine function is similarly -1 to 1. Yes, this is all about yes. What will be their graph? Now the time is over. We can discuss in the next class about the graph of sine function and cosine function. Then we will go to other functions like tangent function, cotangent function, and secant function and cosecant function. Okay, bye.